podcast with Lonzo in command. Brought to you by Compton Entertainment Chamber, across the land. News and information, straight and uncut, we deliver. Real talk every time, sharp like a sliver. Like and subscribe, stay tuned, let's time.
Hey folks, we are back once again. This is Lonzo.
Folks, we are back once again. This is Lonzo,
and the editor of the Hub City Legend.
The editor of the Hub City Legend.
Tried to do this yesterday with technology. And we're technology. Back same time, same channel.
And we're back.
And my guest
same time,
Dr.
same channel.
Greene. How you doing, Dr.
My guest,
Dr. Greene.
Greene, how you doing?
Greene. Yes, I am doing wonderful. Great and greater. Yes. Glad to be here with you.
Yesterday we had a great conversation about mental health and mental happiness. And
mental happiness.
Dr. Greene is very interesting. I would love her to share her information with us. You have the floor.
So I want to say right now, yesterday, I think I was the one that was really glitching. Can you hear me okay? Because right now you are glitching.
That's funny.
Can you hear me, Lonzo?
You're fine. I'm smooth on my end, and you kind of glitching.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we still got this same streaming issue going on. So I want to first say we can keep going because, I'm just a happy person. So I like to roll with things, roll with the punches, go with the flow, or we can try it again later.
Let's do it. Let's do a brief 5 minutes at least. That way,
let's do a brief
idea
5
what we're
minutes
talking about.
That way, hopefully, you idea what we're talking about.
Yes. All righty. Again, my name is Dr. Michelle Odette Greene. I have a doctorate in educational leadership, and I am a brain health trainer, a happiness coach, and I teach people how to think better, feel better, do better so that they can have better. And so I really like to be referred to as your happiness coach. And I talk about brain health and happiness because I'd like to start with the brain because our brain is our command center. That is our hardware. And when our brain works right, our life works so much better. We are happier, healthier, more financial abundant. And when our brain does not work right, we are sicker, sadder, poorer because we make poor decisions. And so I like to help people optimize their brain health. And brain health is different from mental health. When a lot of people hear brain health, they think, oh, she's saying something about my mental health. In a lot of cases, people who are considered to have mental health issues, sometimes it's really just a brain health issue and they just need to know how to optimize their brain. So I love helping people optimize their brain. And then as far as being happy, I teach people how to be happy from the inside out. And it's not predicated on outside circumstances. So it's not predicated on I'll be happy when I get that car, that house, that wonderful relationship, the money in the bank. All of that does not matter. I teach you skills, tools, and techniques so that you can draw from your inner happiness. And then when you get all those things, those external things, that will just add to your richness and your happiness. And so those are two areas that I truly believe if people get those two areas right, their life will be so much better. And because as a person who has experienced challenges with my brain health, challenges being unhappy, and happiness goes up and down. I understand that. I was someone who went through a depression. I lost my 22-year-old son, and that day that I got that phone call, my ground just opened up and swallowed me, if you will. It was like the ground beneath me just crumbled and I just fell into this black hole. And I suffered for months behind that. And so I went on a mission through therapy and what have you to actually get my brain health straightened out, and again to have that internal joy, that peace that surpasses all understanding. So because I've experienced that and I know what it takes to be happier and to optimize your brain, I'm on a mission to help millions of people understand how they can do it. And the great news about that is when they learn it, they can teach others the same way that I am out here teaching others. And so I'll turn it back over to you because that's where we were yesterday.
All right. That's amazing. I work with mental
That's
health people
amazing.
all the
I work
time,
with
and I've
mental
never
health
heard the
all the time,
term brain health.
and I've never heard the
That's a
term
different
brain
perspective
health. That's
on the brain.
a
And
different perspective on
when
the
you
brain.
break
And
it down the way you just did,
when you break down
it
the way
gives you
you did,
a different insight
it gives you
on your body,
a
not
different
just
insight.
the
Your
mental,
body, not just
actual physical
the
brain,
mental,
which is
physical
what we're talking
brain,
about right now.
which is about right now.
Yes.
Huh? You don't think
So
about the.
Debbie, can I jump back in there?
Think
We,
about
we
the,
don't, let me say this. We don't think
Let me
about
let me jump back in
let
there.
me say
Go
this. We
ahead.
don't
Go
think
ahead.
about
Yeah, so our brain is our silent driver. Our
Okay.
brain is our silent driver. And so because we can't see the brain, we don't realize how much is impacting what we do. And so when you start paying attention to how your brain is functioning, then you can do something for the areas that is not functioning well. And
Yeah.
let me just give you one simple thing. See, the thing about it is that simple things can help us optimize our brain, but because they're simple, people tend not to think about them.
Mm.
Something simple as drinking enough water. If you are a little dehydrated, you don't necessarily think clear.
Mm.
When you have like mental fog, when people say, "Oh, I got brain fog," they need to look at, are they hydrated?
Mm.
Are they moving their body, if you will? And then what kind of foods you're putting in your body, because that all has an impact and an effect on how your brain operates. And so those are just three simple things: water, movement, and what you're putting in your body. The other thing is getting outside in nature, getting your sun, because sunlight exposure for us activates vitamin D3 in the body, which is so important. We heard with COVID that because people were staying in the house, they were vitamin D3 deficient because they were not getting out and getting that sunlight. So just going out getting the sunlight again impacts how your body functions. And then Alonzo, now this one is big. As I said, the brain is the hardware, right? So what is the software, the programmer? Because we can have the hardware, but if it's not programmed, we don't get the output, right?
Right.
So the output is the way we think and the words that we speak. Because as we think, so we feel, if you will. Does that make sense?
Totally.
I'm throwing it back to you.
Yes. Totally.
As we think, so we feel. I had my screen on in the back, and I just noticed that it just went out, and so I'm just bringing my screen back up. There it is. There it is. So as we think, so we feel, and so the thinking actually we start using our words, right?
Mhm.
Our words are informing our brain. Our words command what we do. As an example, if you think a happy thought, and I'm turning it over to you, what will be your response when you think a happy thought?
Smile, lightheartedness.
Smile,
Smile,
lightheartedness.
Mm-hmm.
smile, right? And smiling is another simple thing that we can do because it activates those happy chemicals. Have you heard of the daily dose?
No.
No.
Dopamine,
Okay.
oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins,
Mm.
getting that daily dose.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, those are our happy chemicals.
Mm.
The stress chemicals, cortisol, adrenaline. Now they're necessary and they serve a purpose for us. Cortisol that wakes us up is like an alarm to put us on alert if there's danger. Adrenaline gets the blood pumping so you can get out of danger, right?
Right.
And those chemicals should not be turned on all the time. A
Mm.
lot of people, they are in chronic stress and those chemicals are activated almost 24/7, and that's where you start seeing your body really breaking down. When you know what to do to counteract that, then your body actually starts performing better for you. Now here's what's more, people are addicted to those stress chemicals and they don't even know it. And so when they start feeling good, they feel abnormal because they feel like they're out of whack because they've been so used to feeling bad that when they're feeling good, it's like, oh, something's bad is gonna happen because I'm feeling too good. No, you just got your body used to feeling bad, and you need to have arguments. You need to,
Mm.
talk negative because you need those chemicals to keep flowing so you can feel normal, which is really abnormal, if you will. And so I can talk about this because this is my jam. I want to stop for a minute and turn it back to you. And before I do that, I just want to go back to those simple things people can do to optimize their brain more and to be happier again. Drinking water, just drinking water. Getting outside, getting some sunlight, getting your vitamin D, moving. I'm not talking about exercise, just movement. Just get up and dance. And dancing activate those chemicals. You said it, smiling. When we say a particular word, it can make us smile. And when we are doing that, we're actually bathing ourselves in the good chemicals, and we want those chemicals turned on more than off. And so, with that in mind, I am turning it back over to you.
Don't do that to me. I'm enjoying the
Don't do that to me. I'm enjoying
don't break your stride on my account.
don't break your stride on my account.
Okay, okay. Well, I got a lot to say, so I can just keep it rolling. I do want everybody to know at the same time, I am your homegirl from Compton, okay? I want people to know that I was raised in Compton, and Compton is my hometown. I actually, right now, I'm not in Compton, but I'm there often. And so I'm one of the greats out of Compton. You know how we talk about straight out of Compton?
Right.
Well, I went to schools in Compton and I have many friends there, family. And so, Alonzo, I'm going to get back on what I was saying, but I just wanted folk to know that I am a Comptonite. And as a result, I want to show this book real quick. And this book I wrote some years ago. It's called Be Successful for Life. Elevate your thoughts, words, actions, and results. And my thing is thoughts, words, action, results. So the thoughts that you have, the dominant thoughts that you have, you will see those people, places, and circumstances coming into your life. And just pay attention to the results that you have in your life. And that's going to tell you how you think. And so if you want better, it is simple as thinking better. And when you are thinking better, you will start seeing yourself doing things that will bring you those thoughts that you are thinking in terms of from a positive perspective. So let me just put it that way. And what's more about that, remember I talked about the internal aspect, not the external aspect. So from an internal perspective, you are just going to feel better. And when we talk about those words, I already threw that out to you. So if you think a happy thought, what's going to happen? You said smile. Well, the same goes for if you think a negative thought or a sad thought, you're going to, on the negative, you may get mad. On the sad, you may start crying. What happened there? Those words activated chemicals in your body to produce the tears,
Right.
to produce the anger, So if you just boil it down to just those things, then you can really see the evidence of how your words impact your feelings. So I like to teach people a little poem, and I will do it right now. And so I encourage your listeners to actually incorporate this into their lives. And I'm telling you, you need to incorporate it. Look, I'm using the word need. I suggest and I invite you to incorporate it into your life. And it is as I think, and I'm pointing to my brain, as I think, so I feel, and I'm pointing to my heart here, and as I feel, so I do. I got that movement going on, and as I do, so I have. So again, it's as I think, so I feel, so I do, as I do, so I have. I do that often, and I ask myself quality questions. What am I having today? And I answer myself with a quality answer. Because what happens is when you ask your brain a question, it is going to start seeking the answer. So then your awareness is there, and that's called your reticular activating system. So now you are aware of what you are looking for. And you know that saying, what you are looking for is looking for you.
Right.
So if you're looking for the good stuff is looking for you. If you're looking for the bad stuff is looking for you. Now, here's something I want to impress. And this is a question that I have for you, Lonzo.
Okay.
So have you ever tried to remember something and you ask yourself, like, oh, what is that person's name? You're like, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember that person's name. And then you still can't remember the name. And so you just forget about it.
Right.
You go on about your business. And then later on, the same day, the next day, all of a sudden that
Yeah.
name pops up. And it's like, oh, bam, that's so and so's name. Has that happened to you?
Quite a few times.
So, yeah,
Quite a few times.
absolutely. And here is why. Because you asked yourself that question. So your brain went through searching for that answer. So we think that we asked the question and we couldn't think of it, so we left it alone. But no, the other part of our brain, that subconscious mind, was still working because that baby works 24/7. It does not go to sleep. So everything we put in there is in there somewhere. It's just a matter of recalling it. So once we ask that question, then our brain is going to work to get that answer for us. And so that's how later later on, if you will, let me say it that way, or the next day, if you will, the answer comes to you because that subconscious mind was still working while you moved on to something else and you weren't even thinking about that particular question. So that's the key right there to understand. When you ask yourself quality questions like, "Ooh, how am I so great?" Guess what? Your brain is looking for that answer. How am I so great? And you will find evidence. People will tell you, you will remind yourself, you will get the answer to your question. So it's important to understand that when you are asking those questions, you want to ask powerful, uplifting, quality questions to yourself. And it's okay if you ask something negative and you get that negative response. It's just part of life because we are wired for the negative. That's how we're wired. But when we know that that's how we're wired and we know we don't want to receive the things that are not so resourceful in our life, then we do something about it. So that's the point. So I just taught. Hey, I went to Dubai. Okay, lucky me. I went to Dubai. It was one of those things on my love to do list. And so when I was there, I did a talk. And I talked to people about a traveler's mindset. And because the goal for everyone was to have like a wonderful time. Of course, things happen when you're on a trip. So one of the things that I impressed upon them, number one, is savoring the good. Looking at all the wonderful things around them and savoring that and savoring it for 2 to 3 minutes. Even you can do it less than that, or even 20 to 30 seconds. Really, you can really savor, and you are creating new neural pathways in your brain to look for the good. And so I taught them that. And I also taught them that if you feel something negative or something out of sorts during the trip, that's okay too. But then reframe that, reframe it to look for at least a minimum of three positive things. And that will take the emotional charge off of whatever it was that was negative that you were thinking of. So, even like if you are having a disagreement with someone, and you feel that negative energy or that angry energy, if you want to calm that down, just reframe the situation in terms of there's a lesson and there's a gift in this situation. The thing is you're not trying to have animosity. So how can you reframe that and turn that on its head? Well, you can look at, okay, what can we both learn from this situation? What can be a win-win outcome for us? And then how do I want to feel about this situation in the end? So, of course, you want to feel good about the situation. So, if you reframe it that way, then you start putting yourself more on an optimistic plane. And I say optimistic because when you are optimistic, you see more options. You have more options. So it's just not about being positive, it's being more optimistic. And so that will help you actually start looking at things from a broader perspective instead of being so locked in and narrow minded. So the point there is if you are feeling a negative feeling or having a negative thought, if you turn it on his head and think three positive things or optimistic things, that will help take that emotional charge down so that you can feel better about the situation and you can move in a direction that will help the situation be better. And even if it comes down to you got to agree to disagree. And so yesterday when we were talking, I wanted to tell you a story about how I offended someone and it wasn't intentional. And so when I just made a comment that it triggered the person when I told them it was their turn to talk. I was chairing a meeting and I told them to take it away. And for some reason, those words, take it away, just brought out the meanness in this individual. They were just so triggered. And so I tried to lighten the the feeling of that, the tension there. And I was like, oh, go ahead, mama, it's your turn. And why did I say mama? Ooh, wee, ooh, wee, ooh, wee. I mean, it got worse from there. It did not get better. And so at that particular point, every skill that I had as far as staying calm, because when you're calm, you're in control, right?
Right.
It gives you the power, right? And so staying calm, stating firmly that that was not my intent to actually offend, and offering a sincere apology because, again, the person, that was their perception, that's how they felt when that wasn't my intent. And of course, we can only present something to an individual. How they receive it is not our responsibility. Our responsibility is to deliver things with love and with grace and with integrity. That's the best way I know how to say that. And how another person receives it, we have no control over that. But we do have control over our response if it goes south or left. And that situation went left. And so, I just, calmness was power for me. And I learned that. And that's how I operate. And I teach people to operate that way. So that's where that I teach people how to think better, how to feel better, how to do better so that they can have better. And so even as a result of that small story that I told you that I just irked the person, I've gotten positive feedback on how I handled the situation. And so I can go on and on and on because I have a lot to say. I am turning it back over to you.
No, we said 10 minutes. We at 25 now. So
we said 10 minutes. We at 25 now.
See, that's what I'm saying. I got
I'm
a
not
lot
mad
to
at
say. I have a lot to say.
I'm not mad at you.
Dr. Odette. Where can they find you at?
Dr. Odette, where can they find you at? Where can they find you?
Yes, find me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Amazon. My book is available on Amazon. This is an awesome book. It really does provide you with tools and techniques on how to elevate your life. And I tell you, I use the tools and the techniques in this book every day, and my life is richer as a result of it. So, those are the different platforms that people can find me. Google my name, and you'll see stuff pop up all over the place. And
All
reach
right.
out to me.
Dr. Odette. Thank you for your time, Dr. Odette.
Thank you for your time, Dr. Odette.
Son, and give me some brain happiness.
Son, and give me some brain happiness.
You broke up on me, my friend. Say that again.
I'm gonna get me some sun, drink some water, and give me some brain happiness.
Some sun, drink some water, and give me some brain happiness.
Yes, do all of the above. And let me tell you, spread the love.
All right. Have a good day, dear.
All right. Have a good day, dear.
All right. Have a good day. Be blessed.
Bye.
Hub City legend. Compton's voice. Sign up today. Make the choice. Whoa. Sign up today. 424-256-9211. Send us your email. Sign up today. Stories of the people shining so bright. Compton's moving forward with a future in sight. Advancing progress, we spread the word. Voices of the city, we make sure they're heard. Hub City Legend, the paper we trust. For Compton, for progress, for all of us. 424-256-9211. Sign up today, send us your email. 424-256-9211. Sign up today, send us your email. Don't delay. Honoring heroes, the legends we know. Keeping tabs on the council, watching us grow. Repairs in the city, we tell it all. Hub City Legend, Compton stands tall. Hub City Legend, the paper we trust. For Compton, for progress, for all of us. 424-256-9211. Sign up today, send us your email. City legend, the paper of the city. Hub City Legend, the pride of the city. 424-256-9211. 424